Welcome to a new video about the 1951 Jeep Willys restoration and modification project. We're going to do some engine work, some body work, and some axle work. We're taking over this project from somebody who couldn't finish it, and there's a lot to do. First, we cracked open the engine to see what we were dealing with, and doggone it if the valves were needing done. So here we're looking at the side play on those, broken valve springs, all kinds of problems. So we ended up deciding to put in some new valve guides, pounded those out with a brass drift, and put them in the same way. Got most of the parts on Rock Auto. Fortunately, a lot of cars use the same engine, so the M38 Jeep, which is what this is, shares an engine with 20-30 years of other cars. So here we are, got the guides out, and now we're going to put the new ones in. So we made this tool here with two depth marks on it. One depth for the exhaust, that's the shallow one, and then the others for the intake, which is the deeper one. Yeah, this is a flathead 134 cubic inch engine. Nothing really has changed much since the World War II version of this, with the exception of this has got the gear drive, timing chain, and I guess the transmission's a little bit better. It's got the gear drive, oil pump. Putting these in, we did do new valve springs as well. We had one broken spring there. You do have to pay attention because it alternates intake exhaust back and forth, so you have to be careful to put the right guide into the right spot. We just used some zip ties to hold those valve lifters from falling down too far without the cam in there. It's kind of a cool project. There's not very many of these. I don't think this is going to be a extremely valuable one, but you know, hopefully it's something fun that, you know, will get some use. So here we're just going to check the depth of all those valve seats. There's an exhaust, an intake, another intake. Those are the deeper ones. The exhaust is the shallow. And I calibrated that on the old valve guides so that we had the right depth for them, ready to go. Then we did grind in the seats with some lapping compound, shown in the next scene. We just put some markup fluid on there, ground them down, and with the new valves, and hopefully we should have good seats for them. And we did measure the side play here, and we had, I'd say, just about 4/1000 of an inch, which isn't the best, but you know, that's what it is. Here we're all done buttoning it up, setting the lash, cylinder head bolt tightening pattern. A lot of parts came from India. I got a copperhead gasket from India. Putting the front cover on. There are a couple spacers you need to put behind that damper so she tightens up. Did need a new ring gear. Here I am putting that on. There are 3 of them, so make sure you count. There's 3 different ones. Count the teeth you have. Here we threw some paint on it, made it look pretty good. Transmission didn't do anything on the inside, just painted it. Here we are dropping it in with some new hardware there. I had to make a new cover for the PTO on it. Didn't have that. New engine mounts, new transmission, and transfer case mount as well. So the starter was a 6-volt, so we had to go in and look at this. This is from that Toyota, mid 80s Toyota with gear reduction on it. Got the drive shaft in there. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So the oil pump, we are going to run a full oil filter. So we went and we ported the oil pump at the output side, and more to come on that. We did get a fuel injection throttle body from a Ford, mid 80s Ford. We're going to put that on there. We're going to drive it with this Speedwino. Pretty cool. Runs on an Arduino. The only problem is I don't have a plug for this injector, but we'll probably figure that out. So moving on to the body work. Pretty rough body. Going to need some 4-pans. The toolbox can come out, and you're going to need to do that because that is pretty rusty. Usually under there, Here's the toolbox, the bottom side of the toolbox, putting a new edge on that. It's got that cool script Jeep on there. I guess there's a little history there. Here we are repairing the support brackets for the frame mount. Got that all done with 16 gauge steel. So that's pretty good. This is a CJ grill. We used the M38 mounts and then some India marker lights for turn signals. For the paint, I didn't really want to paint it, so we're doing the sort of like polish and linseed oil thing so that the patina shows, I guess. The front clip from the CJ doesn't look that great. Onto the axle work. So the pinion and the rings were all trashed, worn down, in real bad shape. So we decided to go ahead and change the gearing to 354 to 1. So we got a mid-70s CJ, narrow track axle, open knuckle. Purists probably won't like that, but it had the right gear ratio already installed, and it was super cheap. So this was way easier than rebuilding the closed knuckle front drive shaft, front axle. And as a bonus, I get disc brakes, so that's super cool. And it's more serviceable than the older one. We did put all new bearings and stuff in there for it, so it's as good as it can be. For the rear axle, it was a little trickier. We ended up trying a couple of different things, but we ended up going with a 30 spline carrier, so the 10 spline axles aren't going to work. So we filled in those splines, milled them down, and we cut in 30 splines on there for those. Really hard filler rod, so it'd be durable, but definitely very difficult to machine this stuff. But nothing we can't handle. So the carrier's in, and we did do a little bit of setup with the pin in depth. So here it is as it was set up. Not so good on the coast side, not so good on the drive side. And after we shimmed it, we got pretty good pattern on the drive side, and the coast side could use a little bit of loving. The end goal will be going full float on the rear. So we've got some axle stubs. We're going to go ahead and fix those and put them into the new housing there. So work's ongoing. The goal is to have it done by the Newark Raceway Park Blue Suede Cruise next July.